I am Sophie Bonnet. I am the curator for ArtServe. Here with me is Jennifer Gettinger from the ArtServe marketing team. She's going to be assisting with the production of this live, passing out your questions and comments. And also Carol Ann McFarlane, who is a co-curator of the Disobedient exhibition. She's somewhere as well, somewhere in the Zoom. And I would like to welcome the artist, Melissa Vlahos. She's a great artist and founder of the Unleashed project. Hey, Melissa, so for the people that are watching that don't know you yet, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for this opportunity of being able to connect despite everything that is going on. Really appreciate this, and so nice to have a conversation after this exhibition that had to be abruptly cut short, but we're reviving that and it's all good now. So yeah, thank you to Sophie and Carol Ann ArtServe for making this happen. A little bit about myself. Gosh, where do I start? I'm an artist, obviously. I do painting and photography. I also do therapeutic dance guidance and dipping my toes in a few other new adventures coming soon.
That's awesome. So you specialize in therapeutic arts as a painter, photographer, dancer. How did you discover the holistic or healing aspect of the art making practice?
Well, I discovered it because I found that's what worked for me. I don't have any formal training as an arts therapist, but I did go to college as an arts educator. But I discovered through creating my own art how much like the therapy side of it really worked. I mean, art is therapy in a sense, you know, it's all about self-expression. So I just kind of found a way to be able to express in a more therapeutic way by doing things more somatically. So really connecting into the body and feeling the body while expressing and making art. And that I think is what it makes it more therapeutic, let's say.
That's wonderful. So let's talk about your project. Tell us about like the Unleashed project.
So the Unleashed project, well, it is 108 women, the whole project, of all ages and sizes and shapes and races and everything, to really bring in a full depiction of a woman and all of her different sides and how we can show up in the world. And what I did was interviewed different women who were interested in participating to kind of go on this inner journey. And I would guide them individually in my studio. And the guiding was a meditation that really brought them into themselves, into their body, to connect with their inner emotions, and to put a color to their emotions and really figure out what they're feeling. Like, what does happiness feel like to them? Gratefulness, sexiness even. Where do they feel it? What color is it? Where do they feel it in their body? And so in that meditation, they're doing their own color theory. So then when they come out of the meditation, then they are applying the body paint to their body as their own canvas in their own way of self-expression. So when they're doing and in their process, as the photographer, I was moving around them and creating art out of what they were creating on their bodies. So I never posed the participants or told them how to stand or anything like that. It was very organic and kind of collaborative in a way, because I was working off the energy of what they were doing on themselves. So I was photographing and their whole process. And then after the process, I would interview them again on camera, asking them about their experience and how it felt for them, and if anything had shifted or changed in their body. So putting it all together, 108 women participated in this process, and now it's the stages of touring the exhibition. And the reason for that is to continue this uplifting and supportiveness of women showing up for one another, and being an inspiration for one another, and by showing the love that they have for themselves and how they accept themselves and their bodies, being that example for another woman.
Yeah, 100%. Like your personal journey has led you to the path of self-love and self-acceptance, but also women empowerment. So you guide other women throughout this process for themselves. Like, do you remember when was the first time that you realized like you wanted or you needed to share your experience with other women? And I know that two of them are joining us here today.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I think after I started tapping in more and connecting with myself and using my art to express it on my body, it was kind of like a click, like, oh my gosh, this like works. I really need to share this with other women, because I know they have to be feeling the same things that I had been feeling. I mean, like, have you ever felt not comfortable in your own skin, or that you want to find ways to love your body more, or accept yourself more, love yourself more? I mean, I feel like probably everyone, all human beings feel that at one time or another. And so when I realized a way that worked for me to embody more of that self-love and that body positivity, then I was like, oh, I have to share this.
Absolutely. I would like to hear from Brandy or Ana Cristina about like their experiences. Like they went through this process of getting unleashed. Like, you guys want to share like a little bit about what you went through?
Brandy, do you want to go, or should I go?
It doesn't matter. You can go
ahead. Well, I did experience a little bit a while ago. So I've been watching this process, and Melissa's and the other women's process along the past few years, which has been really beautiful, and it's been really beautiful what she has been able to accomplish, getting out our essence through the art. And so I had my session in 2015, and then 2016 I made the full circle of creating my own company, which is called the Biosacred. It's honoring our sacred biology, and that's exactly what this process is, which was in alignment with my life journey. My life journey was to show up in the world as who I am, and as a woman. And then that role of being a woman was not really too clear to me, because I I was taught, like in general, on my environment, at least from my experience, that was what is really being a woman in a male world. Like, am I a woman in relation to a masculinity that's there? So am I to project myself bouncing off the male? And then that vision was really confusing to me, because I felt I have my own essence to complement it, the man. So, and I've started noticing a lot of women, they also get lost in translation between those two worlds. So the world we have inward, inside ourselves, and the world that's being presented to us until nowadays. It's like, I'm so happy that it's being changing, it's being opened up, and we're showing up beautifully. And I feel a project like this gives the women to show our power very powerfully as being a woman. We're not trying to be anything else than a woman. We're not trying to compete as a masculine, not as a man, because masculine and feminine energy, well, of course, we all have in ourselves. But so this was a great part of the Unleash project. It was a great part of my journey of becoming unapologetically biosacred, like owning my sexuality, owning my sensuality. And it was such like interesting experience, because we did, in my session at least, we did during a live exhibition. And so I had people coming in and out, and
so it wasn't like in the traditional way, like when with
no, we were live.
Yes. It was live for her. Yeah. It was the only time that I did that. 4 women participated in Art Fallout, which was an event that happened in Fort Lauderdale that connected NSU Art Museum, the Girls Club, Mass District, Fat Village, where I had my studio at the time. And it was all about interactive art. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do Unleashed live and see what happens. So they were still doing it individually, but it was being done live. So people were coming in and out of the studio and being able to take glimpses at what was happening of her unleashing all of this beauty onto herself. And it was, you're so courageous for doing that.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
That was epic, because what happened, that made me go even deeper into myself.
Of course.
Like, shutting off the noise of the world. And that's what it is in my everyday life experience. When we are able to shut off all the noisy, all the distraction, and go within our essence, it's really trusting our magic and allowing that to come through. So that was
that's beautiful.
that was my experience, and that I can totally see the ripple effect that has caused on me, inspiring my own clients to unleash that, to find their voice, to unleash themselves, to really trust their own magic. Our essential, it's magic. Art is magic. It's creation, right? And so this is a project that is definitely allowed me to touch more with my soul, and to let it shine and transform the world. So my world, and then transform who else is also around my world as well.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Ana Cristina.
Yeah.
And I want to go to Brandon, but first I know that we have some questions.
We do. We have a bunch of questions and comments from the audience. And I think Patty Bryan on Zoom chat actually is going to ask a question. So I can make Patty available.
Awesome. Hey, Patty, thank you for participating.
Hi, Patty.
Why? Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Oh, I'm supposed to ask a question?
If you have a question or if you have a comment.
Oh, I just sent a little note because I wanted y'all to know I was watching and I was here, but I was invisible.
Oh, well, we see you
So-
now.
You see me?
Well, I see
Hear
your
you.
name.
Oh, okay.
I see, yeah, I see the microphone. I don't see you,
Oh.
so don't worry about that.
Me with terror.
But we're really glad you're here with us.
Patty was a participant in the project as well.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was very healing.
That is so good to know. Is there anything else you want to tell us about it?
Well, it was fun. I had a really good friend, Jen, who did it. And
Mhm.
when I heard about her experience, I wanted to experience it for myself. So I flew down to Fort Lauderdale and I was heavier than I normally am. And I said, if I can find a way to love my body chubby, then I'm home free. And
Wow.
it was really wonderful. And the meditation was an important part of that because Melissa took me through all of the things that my body has done for me and continues to in my life. And I felt sad. I realized that here is my most faithful ally and partner, and I had done nothing but blame it and shame it
Mhm.
and criticize it, and it was still sticking by me. And so the meditation was a part of the healing for me as well. And the art part of it, the painting, was just the whipped cream on everything. It was that was fun and it was artistic, and I love having the photographs that I got, but it really was a beautiful part of a healing journey for me.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you for sharing. And actually, I am here in the I'm at ArtServe, breaking the rules a little bit. But we'll be doing a virtual tour of the exhibition. It opened in March 5th, along with our disobedient exhibition, and we're gonna be kind of like showing around in a little bit.
That will be great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you, Melissa. This is
Oh, well, yes. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you, Melissa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to get to Sophie, do we have time for just a few comments from Facebook?
Yes, we have.
Okay, now where do I even start? Because there's so many people watching right now. We have Dan Perez is waving hello. Tom Jones says he loves that Sophie is standing in the exhibition. Thank you for taking us there with you. Sophie, you're okay. Sophie's busy.
I'm right here. Sorry.
No, that's totally fine.
I'm like prepping for the tour, so I'm just
Totally
like
fine.
getting my angles ready.
Totally fine. Tom Jones also says, thank you for your vulnerability. It's the source of great art, an important conversation. Georgia says, love that sacred, spiritual, energetic alignment unique to the feminine experience. Such a great word, essence. She also says, Melissa, she is a warrior goddess indeed. That's really, really nice. Jen said, Unleashed was amazing. It made you realize how many different points of views lay in each mind, a world on its own. How unique and special we all are to be one another in sharing our perspective points. And I think that's all for now. We'll get to some more questions later. Sophie, you ready to take us around?
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that right now, and then we can continue with more questions because I still wanna know more about Brandy's story. And
Oh yeah, we want Brandy. We didn't forget you. We want to talk to you.
Do you want me to talk now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. So where to even begin? I had such an incredible experience. I flew from Dallas, Texas to Fort Lauderdale when I met Melissa and she told me about her project. I was immediately drawn to it. I was a few years into my own self-love journey, and I knew that I wanted to be a part of this. I knew that it would challenge me to get out of my comfort zone because all of the women do this photo shoot nude. And I was really apprehensive about that, but I felt very comfortable with Melissa, and I knew that she would create a safe space, that these pictures would be done tastefully, and I would be in a situation where I could really just allow myself to be vulnerable but supported. And the experience was magical. I vividly remember the interview beforehand. Before we started, I was very nervous, and she asked a question on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did I love myself in the moment or my body? And I don't remember what the number was, but I would say, guessing, it was maybe a 5. And in that moment, I was about 20 pounds heavier then when I did the photo shoot than I am now, but I was still showing up, choosing to love myself while I was working on myself, because I know that self-love is a choice. And when that was done, when we were done with all of the paint and the photos, and she did the interview again, and she asked the same question on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about your body and how much do you love yourself? And just quickly, I was like 10. Immediately a 10.
Oh, that's
and that is the power of our thoughts, because if we can choose to have negative thoughts about our body, we can also choose to have positive thoughts about our body and love ourselves. So it was just a kind reminder about the power that we have of choice, of choosing to love and accept ourselves. And it was an emotional experience for me in different ways, because through the meditation, I was just going through different parts of my life, of things that I've experienced. We've all had struggles in our lives. We've all experienced trauma in different parts of our lives, and allowing myself to feel, because we often distract ourselves from feeling, and giving myself an opportunity to feel and be seen in front of another woman, and also just see myself for who I was in that moment, and knowing that I was strong. And the meditation, I remember she had us visualize about times we felt prideful and different things like that. It was just a beautiful experience, and I'm grateful. I did that, I believe, in January of 2018. And so it's been, 2 years now, and I'm even further along in my self-love journey. And it was just a unique opportunity to express self-love in a unique way that was beyond just the positive affirmations that we might be familiar with, and using art in a way to empower ourselves and unleash ourselves. And by us allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, the 108 women in this project, everyone that sees these photos, I hope it inspires them to look at themselves in a different way and choose to love themselves.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you for sharing. That was beautiful. Melissa, so first of all, I think what you do is so amazing, so important. From a personal point of view, I love seeing women empowering other women. How do women get unleashed? Like, how do they participate? Is this an ongoing project? And also, I have a question. Do you only work with women, or men can get unleashed as well?
Good question.
A lot of men have asked since since seeing and hearing about the project, they have asked, and because throughout the 4 years of this whole project happening, I would be in my studio talking to people that would come in during our monthly art walks. And of course, men would come in too, and they'd be like, wow, this sounds amazing. Can I do it too? So there is definitely a need for men. You know, we all carry the am I enough feeling. We all have that. So I haven't figured out how to tap into the male psyche, I guess, to know how to guide a masculine energy through that. That would be interesting. I'll get back to you on that. As far as for men.
I'm sharing some of the images that I have here, and also of you when you were installing this show.
Yeah. Yeah, so so the actual project is finished. The goal was 108, and that was achieved. So that's what the exhibition is one photo from each woman's journey. So it's 108 photographs. And that is going to tour, but an actual shoot, the way that I did it with that group of 108, it was all self-funded. So now if somebody wants to shoot, I do have a monetary exchange that I would do that for. But what's even better is if someone wants to experience Unleashed, this is my gift, is that you can have access to it now. So what I've done is, because I really want to continue the momentum of women empowering women and supporting one another, I have recorded the guided meditation. I've done a video of instructions and some guiding journal questions for your pre-session and your post-session. And this is all available just by going on my website, and you can get all that information emailed to you and have an experience of your own at home. The one stipulation is, though, that in doing so, you share your experience. So you share it with a selfie, you share it with a video of your process, or you have a friend or someone take photos of you, and you share it on social media with the hashtag #TheUnleashedExperience, so that way we keep continuing to connect with one another, empower one another, inspire one another in
Spread the love.
Yeah.
I love that. So, okay, guys. So this exhibition consists of photographs from 108 individuals identified as women, ages 18 to 90, of all sizes, shapes, colors, diverse life, social, economic backgrounds, who came together under your vision. So I'm ready to tour the exhibition. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Ready? Okay, bear with me because I have to mute myself.
Here we go.
Hey, you guys see us?
Yes, we see you now.
Yes. All right. Hi, guys. So we have our Carol Ann and Sophie. Carol Ann is helping me with this part of the process. Can you hold this for a second? Actually, hold on, let me just make sure that. Okay. So I think we're ready. So what are we seeing right here?
Yeah, so this first little grouping of photos are some of the first Unleashed participants. And when I started this project, I started it in Greece when I was living there. And that was actually my big aha moment, was when I went to a nude beach in Greece and realized, whoa, I'm not feeling very comfortable in my body. And looking to the other people on the beach and how comfortable they were in their own skin, that's what really inspired me to want that for myself too, and that I can access that. So the project started in Greece, and then when we moved to Fort Lauderdale, I continued it there at my studio in Fat Village. And so a majority of the participants are from the South Florida area, but there's also girls that, like Brandy, that I met in New York at Rise Sister Rise workshop retreat, and it just really spread organically. So New York, Texas, North Carolina, Ohio,
Brazil,
Georgia. Yeah.
I know that Lori Arbel had a question about why 108.
Oh, yes. Great question, Lori. So 108 has a really spiritual significance behind it for many, many years. So for instance, like the heart chakra has 108 meridian lines that 108 meridian lines that form the heart chakra, or like prayer beads is 108 beads. So I felt like, since it was such a really powerful number, that bringing together that amount of women would help expand this message even further, expanding the message of self-love and body positivity and self-acceptance.
Love it. So what was like one of the main challenges of this entire multi-layer process, like project?
Oh gosh. Well, for the exhibition, it was just picking one photo. But through the whole process, I think actually the most challenging thing was when I went through my surgery for endometriosis. I had about 8 months off from the project entirely, where I needed to, there's Anna.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
thank you.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to, regain my health and put the project to the side. And so it was like the project kept teaching me, but it was really challenging because the project kept teaching me to love myself and to accept that, okay, I have to take a few months off from this, but it's still going to happen. It's still going to be there. So just kind of keeping the faith that, I was on the right track, and keep trusting and going. Little setback that it was a challenge at the time.
Yeah. Hey, Jen, do we have any more comments or questions?
Yeah, we sure do. We have a Zoom question from Marilyn, and Marilyn says, hi. When a person signs up for the session, can you go through the process you take them through? I love the fact the women like their bodies after going through this.
So the process that I take each woman through, I don't know if maybe she asked this before I explained it, but yeah, I'll quickly, it's we start with an interview, and then we move into the process where I guide them in a meditation that sparks all of these emotions from their own memory of how it feels for them and where they feel it in their body and what color it is. And then they use the body paint to self-express that on their own body as their canvas. I photograph the process, and then I interview the girl again to talk about any shifts that came up for her and how she's feeling about her body after that.
May I say something of
Yeah.
the experience of
Of
going through it?
course. Of course.
Yes, as like why we end up enjoying loving our bodies even more. It's just the caressing, like the touching, and the feeling of our skin, and you bringing liveliness and color to express it and shape it. So I feel like we don't caress ourselves so much. We don't take the time to like, you know, like really go through it. And then through the meditation, which you are already relaxed in a somewhat trance, and then you start touching yourself, it becomes magical. And all of a sudden you really connect with that sacred body of ourselves, that we don't take the time to do it. And we start realize that we are so much more than what we give attention to on a day-to-day. That's why, like, it could bring us to a different type of connection with ourselves.
Yeah, thank you for
Great
that.
answer. Thank you.
I mean, and the images are just beautiful. The images are gorgeous.
And do you have some more comments in Facebook Live? From Marlene. She says, I'm so honored to be one of the Unleashed participants. The project has absolutely changed my life. Thank you, Melissa.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow, this is sounding like something I want to join. When is the next?
I know, it's so special.
You ladies have all changed my life too. I mean, we you know, what are we here for? We're humans, like, to connect and to support and be there for one another. And I don't know, it was a really healing journey for myself too, even being the artist doing this. And I ended up including myself in there I am right there. I ended up including myself in the project too, as the 108th participant, because I was just like, I have to be a part of it too. Like, this connection of healing that was created was really, really beautiful. And that's why I'm so passionate about continuing to grow it and build it and expand it, because I don't know, I mean, we're like, that's how we should be, like, in community and lifting one another up and supporting. We're stronger together. I mean, I know it's like a cliche. You see that saying all over the place, like women coming together, something magic happens, or that we support one another. I don't know. I forget the saying now, but yes, just keeping this going and being there for one another. I think it's really, really important, especially now with everything that's happening. This craziness in the world right now is just to stay connected and be there for one another.
Absolutely. All right, so I think we, is there a photograph that you would like to see or talk about, or
if well, I wouldn't want to speak for any of the women in particular about their journey. I would eventually like to put a book together of the images here, plus, you know, I have like hundreds of images from the whole process. But also their videos, like I have all this footage of their testimony and their interview, and that's where like all the really good juicy stuff is about their experience. So I've been transcribing those and want to eventually turn it into a book where people can read about these women's journeys, and you know, there's going to be something that they can relate to in their own life that will inspire them to make a shift for themselves. So that's on the horizon as well. But we'll see. That's a big job. I've been working on that for a while.
All right. So I hope my hand wasn't too shaky.
No,
I was trying to capture
Sophie, it was
best.
perfect.
Okay.
It was, you know what, I missed a few questions. Do you have time for a few questions?
Yes, we do. We have time.
Perfect. Okay, so Tom says, how has the COVID crisis impacted the artist's approach to art making? Any new ideas or projects that have emerged?
Yeah, well, the tour is on hold for now, but I know that it's still going to happen. I released the Unleashed experience for women to still be able to do the Unleashed process in their own home. Other than that, personally, I've just been doing more creative things outside of traditional painting and photography like I typically do. I mean, it snowed today in Ohio, so I can't really go out and take photos of nature right now either. So I've just been doing like more cooking and dancing. My husband and I are learning tango lessons online.
I love that.
So the creativity is coming out in other ways, which is all good. I love it. You know, I like a variety. So creativity comes in many, 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 many forms.
Yes, it sure does. Georgia says, we are so disconnected from our sensuality, such a powerful connecting experience it seems to be. We have forgotten how to be sisters. This brings us together in such a powerful way. Yeah.
Yes, totally. I agree. And I feel like all of these girls are my sisters. And even the ones that don't participate or haven't participated in Unleashed, like we're all sisters. We're all a reflection of one another. So how would you treat your blood sister? It's how we should treat everyone, right?
Absolutely. So here are some of the images from, I think this is like from maybe like a workshop that you did? Or one of the sessions?
Yes. So the one, I don't know if your screen is exactly like mine, but the one where I'm in the the purple shirt, it was Unleashed Alchemy, which was a workshop that I did at ArtServe a day after the exhibition opening. And that has obviously elements of Unleashed because we do body painting, but we stay clothed for that workshop. And there's sound healing involved, and it's a lot more with moving. So it gets even more somatic. So feeling your emotions throughout your whole body, moving with them, and unleashing them like physically. So like getting really active in the body. And I also talk about like how our bodies are energy and how to move that stagnation. And I give like tips and kind of tools during the workshop in like how to regulate your energy, or if you're having an emotion that you are feeling stuck in, because all emotions are okay, but we just don't want to live in some of the emotions that we're in. So like how to move that stagnant energy with breath and movement and artistic expression.
Absolutely. So, so guys, we're getting close to the end of this conversation. I have one last question. What advice would you give to someone that is like trying to start their career as a professional artist
Right now?
right now?
Actually, I think this is probably the best time to do it because you're faced with so many challenges that your creativity is to make it happen. It's going to be super big and powerful. So this could be the best time to start something new. How to go about it? I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, but everything is possible.
Hey, Jen, do we have some last questions?
Yes, we do have some more questions. Let's see. So, well, this is more of a comment. Jill says on Zoom, this is so special. It feels like it goes back to our tribal roots. Yeah, I feel like that as well.
I love Jill. Oh, by the way, you guys, tomorrow, please tune in at 3 p.m. because we have Jill, a chat and paint with Jill. Jill is an amazing artist, also a very good friend of ArtServe, and very, very talented. And so please tune in at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We're going to be talking to Jill. That's another amazing story. Anyway, Brandy and Cristina, thank you girls for sharing your story. Melissa, thank you so much for sharing this space with us, for sharing your passion, for doing the work that you do. And we consider you a part of the ArtServe family, and we absolutely loved having you for this project, and have your project displayed in your space, in our space. So thank you.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Jen.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it was really wonderful having
Thank you, Melissa, of course.
here.
And what an honor it was to work with you and Carol Ann. You guys put together such an amazing show, and I was just so grateful to be a part of it and have a platform to show this project and these women what they wanted to express to a wider audience.
Absolutely.